Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this morning with Nutella and Fred. What we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is her ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands. The little corrections and lots of motivations that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot training leash, and he keeps the bulk of that leash folded in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give any correction that we might have to give, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and let go on the training collar. Now, if you notice, Nutella is sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you, which I know is one of the most important exercises, is heeling. The command is Nutella heel, and at this point you take off walking. And her job is to stay even with your left leg, not forging ahead or lagging behind, but matching pace with you. And each time that you stop walking, she has been taught to sit automatically to wait for her next command. And with a little motivation and a happy voice, you're going to keep her right next to your left leg and encourage her to do her work properly. This makes walking your dog a pleasure instead of a drag. So we know that heeling was one of your main purposes for her being here, and she does it very nicely. Now the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command. Stay. And because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. You should practice this command indoors as well as outdoors, because with sight hounds, they're obviously super visual. So every little distraction gets her attention. When Fred returns back to his dog, he will walk all the way around her, ending up back at heel position, and everything starts and stops at heel, and they take off heeling again. So remember, when you're walking with her, you're going to take the leadership role, so you're not being dragged, and when you stop your feet to cross traffic or talk to a neighbor, she should be sitting nicely at your left, despite any distraction, and we have tons back here. There's lots of squirrels and things to keep her looking around. But you see her looking up at her trainer and following him very nicely. Fred's going to do that stay command again for you. Your sit stays and your down stays are well practiced in the home as well as outside. This time, instead of returning back to her, Fred's going to call her. And at this point, her job is to come in and sit right in front of him facing his knees, and then she returns back to heel and back sitting. Very good. And they're going to demonstrate that recall exercise again for you. And all of these exercises are designed to put into practical application at home. Stay. Fred leaves her in another sit stay. And you can practice this right in your living room. You don't have to go outside. Make a big deal about it. And make it fun for her. Fred calls her in, happy voice, tells her she's a good girl on the way in, and then back to heel and back sitting. Very nicely done. Now the next exercises that we're going to be demonstrating for you are your down commands. These were a little bit more difficult with her. And I do have to tell you, we do our videos outside so we have more room. She's better at her down commands indoors because she's such a diva that she doesn't like to lay down outside. But this is with your dog seated at heel position. You take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down, and then stay. Your long down stay, like I said, should be practiced indoors as well as outdoors. Now, if you see her starting to get up, you can tell her no. Down. And right away she responded. When Fred returns back to her, he will walk all the way around her. She has to complete the exercise as it was taught. Fred walks all the way around her, returning all the way back around to heel position again as an additional distraction. He heels her out of that, and we will demonstrate that down from a heel one more time. We have been weaning her off the treats. As far as performance is concerned, she's expected to do her commands without food. In the beginning, we used food with her because we knew that's what she was used to. And then slowly but surely we took the treats away, and she's doing them very well on her own with no food. This is your long down stay from a heel position. Fred calls her out of that exercise and has her sit right in front of him facing his knees, and then she goes back to heel and back sitting. Very good. Now the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is your down from a distance. So always have your dog seated before you attempt to put her into a down. Fred leaves her in a stay. He walks out to the end of his training leash. This is the only time that you will see him use his right hand to give the command.
No.
There you go. So like I said, she's a little reluctant to do her downs outside. She's much better with them indoors. But we have demonstrated for you all of the basic obedience commands. She's a very, very sweet dog. We've really enjoyed having her, and we feel as though she's done a great job. We know you're going to be proud of her as well. Please keep us posted on how she's doing at home, and she will see you very soon. Thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.